Welcome to the third episode of my Minecraft series where I'm building every single Kanye West album in hardcore Minecraft. Before we do any of that, I think I want to upgrade to netherite for at least most of these. So I need to go shear some sheep so that I can get beds for netherite mining. Okay, I think this should be good. I'm gonna head to my netherite mine. I am doing this without a chest plate, but explosion damage primarily goes to your legs, in case you didn't know. That's why when you're mining, you kind of have to block like that, because if I didn't have that block there, my legs would have been probably blown off. Alright, let's check it out. Okay, I'm not even joking. After all those beds, that is my first piece of ancient debris. Alright, I'm gonna have to get a lot more sheep because after all those beds, I only got 4 pieces of ancient debris. So let's get to it. My efforts prevailed. I ended up with 10 times the amount that I had gotten previously. And since I'm here, I'm going to collect supplies to start the map art. There are only a couple of nether blocks I need for this build, primarily just crimson and blackstone, so this should be pretty easy. Alright, so funny enough, I don't actually have any gold to craft netherite, so I'm going to have to go back to the gold farm I built way back in my first video. But I'm going to have to AFK there anyway, because I'm going to need 3 stacks of gold blocks for this build. Okay, that should be more than enough for netherite. I don't think I've ever had this much netherite at the same time. I just want to craft this. I don't think I ever have in survival. That's a lot later on. For now, I need to make armor with this. Okay, the hard part is down. However, before I add the netherite to my diamond tools, I want to make sure they're fully enchanted. Like this diamond hoe is fully enchanted. However, this axe still needs like mending and fortune. but I only have 25 levels, so in order to get some XP, I'm gonna need to make an Enderman Farm, as those are very useful. Alright, I've done this one time before, and it was pretty easy, so it should be easy to repeat. Okay, that should be the bottom block. Now I gotta swim down that. This is the worst part. Okay, I'm gonna get my fireworks ready just in case. They make this look so easy. Okay. Okay, and I am on Y level 1, so I did it right. The actual farm part I am going to be using a tutorial for, so you will likely be seeing replay mod footage of the rest of the build. All I have to do now is make sure he falls on the iron bar. Careful here. There we go. I'm just glad they're not mad at me. This is one of the most terrifying farms to make because 1, you're in the end and you could fall off at any moment, and 2, there are Endermen. So we have a problem here too. Gotta get them off. The farm definitely works. It's very loud, but it works. I also want to set up like a little enchanting room off to the side here, but I'm gonna have to do everything in slabs. So now I can get levels and enchant. I also brought some tools to enchant here. This farm also needs to be built because I needed to repair my things with mending, and before I started this farm, this pickaxe was in the orange, so it worked out nicely. Alright, I'm like 90% sure everything is maxed out, so now it is time to rename them. Now that all that is taken care of, I just have to convert it to netherite. Alright, that already looks a lot better. Although the Enderman farm is done and all my tools and gear are upgraded, my time in the end is not quite finished. I'm going to need 34 stacks of purple blocks, meaning I'm going to have to return to an end city. I don't know how many purple blocks this contains, but we're going to find out. Should be able to mine them quick too. I brought my beacon. I don't think there are any other end blocks I need to collect, so I can go ahead and get out of here. The next major thing I need are cherry leaves. I'm gonna need roughly 55 stacks. However, I do live in a cherry grove, which definitely helps. Should speed up the process. I already have about 13 stacks. Alright, the last major block I'm missing is purple concrete, which is a very boring process to watch. So I'm just gonna compile everything else into like a little montage. Alright, gonna take a brief intermission. This was kind of a multi-purpose savannah visit. While I did come for the acacia logs, it was also brought to my attention that the spotted wolf variants spawn in savannah plateaus. So I'm gonna go see if I can tame one. Sure enough. Alright, perfect. So I have a red collar and a blue collar. I kind of want to make this one yellow, despite the colors I have in my inventory. Let's make it brown. Perfect. Kind of blends in, but I don't mind. Alright, we're going to take a little break also to name him. Alright, guys, I brought you a new friend. We have Alistair, Boris, and I think I'm going to keep the theme of ABC. Alright, now we have 3 out of 8 dog variants. I think there's 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, anyway, I gotta get back to it. Alright, a couple hours later, I have all the supplies ready. As you can see, this one isn't quite as tall as the other 2 I've done, so it should hopefully take me a lot less time. This time around, I also do have a copy of the map in my hand, so anytime I place blocks in the actual art, it'll update on this map. So I will have a copy going so you guys can see the map as it updates and kind of see the art come together. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. And that, ladies and gents, is graduation. I don't even think putting it in this frame does it justice. However, that does conclude the Bear trilogy. Thank you for watching yet another episode of my hardcore series. In the next video, I'm not quite sure what I will be building, but the one after that will follow up this series, and I will be doing 808s and Heartbreak. But once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.